Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This is your man T History. Watch your phalanges, watch your backside. Thank you for coming out this evening, late night. What is this Saturday night? Oh yes, I thank everybody for being pulling up and spending your time with us this evening. Usually, I have open panel, but tonight's not the night for open panel. I have a special guest this evening. We have here Miss Creulla, aka Lady Empress Janet, is here to introduce herself to the people of the T History platform. So we'd like to have her sit to our we'll welcome her to as a guest to let her introduce herself to the YouTube nation. Uh, Hello, are you here?
Yes.
Yes, she is here. I have let the people know who you are, but as I normally do, let the people in the universe know who you are.
Well, thank you, T History. And shout out to T History and his channel and everything he's doing over here. I am honored to be here. I'm Empress Janet, and I'll get started by just saying that shout out to the chat room because that's where I started from. I was a lonely soul looking for loved ones just to kind of gather as the times were getting harder, and I became a content
Slow,
creator.
slow,
I
slow,
created my
slow,
channels.
slow, slow, honey, slow, slow,
And I'm
slow,
excited.
slow. All right. So, so Miss Empress Janet, the first question what I usually ask people is, would you let us know where you're officially from?
That's a good question. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Would you let us have any background on growing up there? How was it growing up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Sure. I actually grew up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
I mean,
It is the
okay.
country, it's near Lancaster, PA. But I
Mm-hmm.
actually came to Pittsburgh in 92. And
All right.
growing up, I kind of grew up in the foster system.
Okay.
So I was sent here by the company and I lived in an African American foster home because my adoptive mother was white. And so it was a different experience living in Pittsburgh and living with an African American family. I learned so much culture. I learned to heal myself. And I would say that my foster mom is how I am today. I learned so much from her and learned how to act. I actually lived in the suburbs of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so the cultures were different and we didn't have sidewalks. And we played with people and people didn't learn like worry about color. It was just when the street lights came on, everybody had to get in or you were in trouble.
Wow. So how did so you saying so what about if you don't have to go deep into it, but like because that's confusing to me a little bit. So you said because your foster parents, so your biological parents is what like what's your biological then, or because you said that you grew up in an African American home, you appear to be that. So I don't understand.
Well, that's a good question. I'll explain myself a little bit more, T. So I am a biracial woman. My mother is French, German, Scottish. My father is British, Nigerian, Conga, Tonga, and actually Ivory Coast. So my mother gave me away because she was not allowed to mess with African Americans or biracials or any of that sort because my family was racist.
Okay.
So my mother lived in a mental institution all her life, and it was because of having me. I went
Mm.
to the system. I was adopted by a white woman,
Okay, that's what I mean.
and I
You
lived
don't.
with them forever. Well, until I was 14.
Okay, and that's what you mean. So when you turned 14, that's when you went into an African American household.
Yes.
Okay,
and
okay,
learned that I was actually black as well, that I wasn't just white.
okay. So can we go there? So like, so how was that? That's got to be a crisis because that's what I put down here. So yeah, so you had to deal with like yeah, go and get into it. Like basically, you had to identify yourself. So when did you have like that type of a situation? Identify having a crisis with identifying yourself.
T history, that's a great question because I had personality disorder. I didn't know if I was black or white. I was told that I was white, and then the black children quickly told me I was black. It was only after receiving counseling at 14 with my foster mother that she explained that I am both. So I'm a white woman with color. Or I'm a biracial happy lady. Whatever you'd like to call me, but please don't forget the African American. So shout out to all people of color.
Correct. Usually I would say then well, then you got best of both worlds. So I would say, as you was younger, what was some of the let's go with the bright side. What was some of the bright side of the white girl?
Well, thank you for that because her name is Barbara, darling. Say no. But I I love to climb trees. My grandma was from Lancaster, PA. So we got to live on a farm and we learned how to provide and eat and use the land to create our living survival. So we had chickens and then we had corn and we had blueberries and strawberries and so on and so forth. But we learned how to take care of the land and appreciate things. I learned entrepreneuring young because my grandma would make us cut flowers and then sell them to the people that were going down the road. We lived near the Amish, so we were actually Christian Mennonite. So I had to wear a dress all the time. So I learned how to play and climb trees in a dress. um, but I learned the simple things of life, but I never took them for granted. I learned how to canoe. I went to Bible study. I learned about the universe. Everyone calls him God or, whatever they'd like to call him. But I never had a personal relationship with him when I was a child. It was kind of like what we had to do. And
Hmm.
so when people were lying and like doing perverted things that were like touching children in the church, I kind of was like, this isn't right. And
Right.
I started to like say the truth, and people would be like, shut that girl up.
Okay.
So they would call me Trouble. So, like, all my life, my nickname is Trouble.
Trouble Barbara.
Because I
Right.
just want to know if you love something and you like say that you love something, why would you try to hurt it?
Correct. I actually got that down there. How did you deal with sexual perversions?
Well, I was actually raped as a child. So going through foster homes, I was actually adopted twice and they
Hmm.
changed my name.
Wow.
And in that first home, my real name is Janet Presley,
Right.
but they changed it to Brittany Janet.
Hmm.
And in that time, I was molested and burnt in water and do all types of perversions that I never thought I could survive, being whipped with basically cords while I was wet coming out of the shower. I couldn't sleep at night because I was being touched by the man and his children because he forced them to do that.
Wow.
I never had a safe sexual experience until I got counseling later on in my years to realize that there's a difference between having fun and being perverted.
Right. I mean, at this time, was there anyone to go to? Was you telling anyone, or was you scared, or was it was you under the pretenses that I mean under the understanding that at the time you thought that it was okay?
That's a good question, T history, because it started at 5 and I told
Oh,
the person that was my counselor and she saved me from that first adoption and I went to the second adoption. But the lady actually wound up dying, and so I never actually got anyone else to admit that those things had happened. And then when I got to the second adoptive home, the woman was a counselor, and rather than giving me the love and understanding that I needed it just to feel like I had a home, she treated me like I was one of her patients. So it kind of made things worse that I didn't have anyone to talk to unless it was like professional, but that was my mother. So it really didn't make any sense to talk to her. So I found other outlets and I started running the streets at 13 and selling drugs, and I ran a Philly, and those people loved me and they listened, and they didn't try to rape me. They really tried to protect me. And so I
Right.
learned the difference that not all African American people are, mean and evil. They will show you how to eat and survive, and they'll become your family when the, white people that I were with were like trying to hide me and disgrace me as I was nothing to their family. And so I ran the streets from like 10 years old till I was about 14, about 2 months into 14.
Mm-hmm.
I had basically got involved with people that, we were selling drugs or robbing cars, chopping them down, or selling them to the people that chopped them down for money. And I got arrested, and basically the people that I was with were going to be like harboring a fugitive at that time, and they were like, you need to change your life, or you could go down a path of destruction. And I really heard that, and from 15 on, I just started to love myself more. And even if my mother didn't love me, which I later found out that the story is that she was forced to give me away,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like used that pain to do bad things. But once I like forgave all that, then I started to work on my behavior, always trying to accept that if it's me or if I did it because somebody, caused me to do it, which is still me, because I had to learn to control my emotions.
Right. Wow. That's a lot of stuff to go through so young. How like what was like one of the first things that led you to that? Like how did you get on or find the people that like that you was hustling, that you was like selling drugs and stuff? Like how did that find itself to happen?
It's a crazy story, T. It's a rabbit hole, but I'll give you a brief description. I was being picked on at school because I was biracial. My white mother was actually putting French braids in my hair instead of cornrows. And so the children would chase me home from school and mock me and call me zebra girl and soup curler and inside out braid head. And this black, well, African American girl stood up for me and fought off like three of the kids. And so me and her became best friends. And she was 2 years older than I was. So it was cool to hang out with her. So I snuck out of the house and I would go meet her. And then we'd go to like the pool hall where all the the big kids were, so to speak. Because
Yeah.
at that time, I will say, being a young girl, if you encountered an older man, you never told him your age because then he'd be in trouble.
Is
So
that right?
a lot of times us younger girls that we didn't tell our age because the older people are cooler to hang out with. But if they knew how old you were, they would have been in trouble by law standards. So not
Right.
everybody was doing like sexual things, they were helping. So I learned how to play pool by the older gentlemen. I learned how to hustle. I learned how to be in the streets to feed myself.
Right.
So, but I did get raped at 13. I was with the girl that I was just talking about. We had
Uh-huh.
went back to these gentlemen's house, but one of the gentlemen was her friend. And so she was kicking it with him, but I had never been with a gentleman other than being molested as a child. So I was curious. He showed that he was a good guy. But it came to the end of the night and he asked me to go upstairs to his room to look at some pictures. And then that's when he shut the door, punched me in my head, and raped me. and the baby was in my tubes. So I almost wind up dying because the tube burst. And by the time I got to the hospital, I was going into surgery. And so, yeah. It was a
Yeah, that's
time
deep.
where I had to survive, and I did. And, I don't change anything. I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, that's a lot of that's heavy. Like I said, you don't have to go to, you know, that's a
Sometimes
lot
to
of stuff.
find who you are, it makes you stronger, T history. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you giving me a platform to share. Because some people have been abused or they've been through some things that they probably would never want to say again,
Right.
but they don't hurt me, brother. They define me. So thank you for allowing me to
Yeah. Yeah,
talk.
no problem. You're welcome. I mean, it's you. You're a strong person. I mean, a lot of people don't want to talk about less. Um, it's a lot of stuff here. How do like I said, what like once you like kind of learn yourself, like so when you turn like 16, 17, like what type of stuff was you on by then? Like what how do you start transitioning yourself? Like how did you do with school and stuff like that?
That's actually a perfect question, T history, because that's when it started to change. I actually came to Pittsburgh in 92. I began counseling about 15 or 16 after my foster mother was ready to wring my neck for my behavior. And I
Mm-hmm.
started to open up and listen to the counselor rather than always fighting back what they were trying to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took steps on taking classes that helped me understand myself better. I always wanted a family, so I took child development in school.
Mm-hmm.
I took computer class, I took drama class. I participated in school rather than just saying it was a place to be. It was the only place that I knew to be where I could be myself.
Good. So
I
how did it
actually had honor roll and high honor roll in
okay,
high school.
that's
I
what's up.
actually went from I could have got a scholarship to go to college for being on the honor roll every 9 weeks of, every semester.
Mm-hmm.
But when I turned 18, I wanted to get out of the system so bad, T history, that I left my foster home. I ran off with this man and we had children.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and in that, I actually had a son who was deaf, and I was only 18 years old and married and wondering what I was supposed to do with this now. So, yeah, went down another rabbit hole.
Right. So how was that experience to you? Like how? Because that's got to be overwhelming.
With what?
With being a parent, like with you going through so much stuff that you had already been through so far.
Well, that's a good question. I was in college. I was going to school for graphic design. There were 50 people that were going to be picked from our college to go to Disney World. I was excited because I wanted to make cartoons. I wanted to do movies, make movies, and I always wanted to be on Days of Our Lives. So I really had a
Ah,
plan. I'm sorry.
no, I kind of briefly laughed because I'll tell you later. But go
Uh,
ahead.
oh, okay. And so, I got pregnant, and then the pregnancy was hard, and I later found out that he was deaf. He was 15 months old. So all those plans that I had were put on hold, um, until now, I guess. The universe has allowed it to come back in full force. So I actually became a mother of 4 children and, stayed with their father as long as I could. The second husband actually came through at near the end of raising the children, and we raised my children and his child together. I divorced 6 years ago and I became an entrepreneur. I got my associate degree in criminal justice. I worked at basically a detention center for children. And I
Uh-huh.
also worked at a detention center for the mentally, ill, and they were locked up too. So I actually worked at a center for at risk children who've been
Mm-hmm.
abused in their foster homes. And then when I got my bachelor degree, I worked, wanted to be an officer. So I worked with a program to basically do volunteer work to help victims who've been in um, basically bad relationships and they have to go to court and they don't really want to talk to people. They asked me to talk with these ladies secretly off the books, and sometimes they testify, sometimes they don't, but they always find friendship. And so a lot of my friends, I can't say their names because they're
Yeah,
victims of
that's fine.
abuse, but
Exactly.
they're great people. And my job and basically my master's degree is helping others. So I have a master's in organizational leadership. It's in promotional speaking, and my undergrad is community development.
Right.
So I'm always
That's
looking to help others and children to better ourselves in our community.
right. So yeah, because that seems like a key thing in your life. It seems like it's your duty to like try to help people because maybe you seem like you didn't get all the help that you needed when you was younger. Maybe.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. That's definitely your opinion. But my goal to help people is to give them strength, to give them self confidence, because yes, those are the things that I was missing growing up. And T, if someone's not telling you that you're a good person, that's a
Hmm.
lot to carry around. But if people
Right.
are telling you that you're doing a great job and things are going to get better, you just create good energy for yourself. So
Right.
I'm not trying to save everyone, but if I can just give good energy so that you
Hmm.
know that you can be great too, I will always do that to the day I die, honey.
That's great. Where do you think that that comes from?
From all my injuries, honey, I never had love. So
Right.
everyone's gone through something where they don't have love. I'm like a cupid of love, darling. I'm
Right.
handing it out. I'm pushing it out into the ether through my words, through my actions. And also for the fact that if I could help one person, I love them. I'm pansexual. We can talk about it. But pan
Um.
means all in Greek. So I don't want to sleep with people. I love them sexually, meaning you're a great man. You probably
Mhm.
look amazing. You have nice hair. I will sit here and give you all the confidence that you need, T history, but that doesn't mean I want you. I
Right.
just love you as an African American male. And you're a
Okay.
gentleman, actually. So now you're even more intriguing that any
Hmm.
woman should be honored to be with you, sir.
They damn sure better be. You right about that.
So that's what pansexual means. It doesn't mean sleeping with people because sex means sleeping with people. Sexual means I'm allowed to express what I just expressed to
Well,
you.
that's something that I would like to ask though. Having being taken of being raped, does that does that ever like interfere with your sexual life? Does that like kind of like make things awkward for you
Nope,
at time? No, it
nope.
doesn't.
It allowed me to evolve to explain everything I just described about you.
Okay.
And go deeper into that. So I actually created a business in 2009 of ladies being on the phone, sex line in our house. And I created that illusion for all the men and people out there that just need love. And some people have to pay for it, T history, but I'd rather you pay for it with love than to rape or take it from someone,
Right.
because everyone needs love. And it's sad that you have to take it. You don't have to take it, it can be given to you.
So with your degree and stuff like that, how do you feel as though you are with your business skills? And like you said, besides to having like a certificate so far, have you applied it on anywhere or looked to get into any future endeavors as
That's
far
a
as
good
business go?
question. So I created a business in 2009, which was actually a sex operating phone
Hmm.
service. I turned it into a lucrative business, which actually women go on a chat line and they can get paid to do their chatting and using their webcam.
Mm,
And I also created a cleaning business so that when you go to work, you come home and your house is clean. That way you don't have to come home to anything but happiness and love. So I use my degree because I'm an entrepreneur and I try to, um, well, I will rephrase that. I still am helping people because I'm a promoter. So my
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneuring and my marketing skills that I've used for 30 years on the phone, I'm now helping people assist them with their StreamYard, assist with their outline, their out overlays, or their, just their setup of their StreamYard so that you don't have to use the duck anymore. Those are just little things to help people. Share your show when you go live. Tell people to like and subscribe. If people are in the bushes, they can type in the chat room because that doesn't mean someone who has a wrench. And Josiah and I, definitely have come far with this. That you should
Mm-hmm.
be respectful with the wrench. If you
Right.
don't like what someone says, that doesn't mean you time them out.
Right.
The person controlling the panel would want to read the. We still read the comment anyway in the StreamYard.
Correct.
So people and their way of being more, I want to say professional like on your stream allows us to come to your corner, allows to see what you're about. Everyone being
Mm-hmm.
different just allows that to be extraordinary. I like to show the extraordinary parts of humans. You gentlemen, as men, your sandboxes are amazing. And that's what I call my station, the sandbox. Because all the girls
Same.
come to my sandbox and we talk and we play and we laugh. We have game night, we have
Mm-hmm.
karaoke night. But you guys have
You
like good knowledge.
right. You said. I think you said that. Like I like how you described it. Like having a respect for the men, and then the women. You know, like it's a different type of vibe. Like you said, it's just like a difference. Like having the respect, like you were saying the other day, that having respect for the men and listening to what they say, and then the girls do different type of things with like partying and kind of doing not dumbing it down, but doing girly things and
Yes.
vibing with one another.
The women
Um,
should show the men respect. Men are
right, it,
first.
right. It goes vice versa. I mean, it goes both ways, but I understand what you're saying. We go to a few other YouTube things. So you like to be like assist people, but far as your personal, when it goes to like now you're building your channel, I would say like um, you have what one channel? No, you have a couple of channels, right?
That's a good question, T History. I
Or
actually
oh,
have
you want to
three
oh four?
channels, and making a fourth one. So
All
my
right,
first channel is Fellowships Online Funhouse, and what I do
okay.
over there is talk about topics that are happening in real life. So my
Mm-hmm.
topic is mental illness. A lot of people have
Mm-hmm.
panic attacks, anxiety, OCDs, and if we can help each other and stay a little calmer when we're speaking to each other, then understanding helps us grow as humans. I like to evolve,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the topics that I like to talk about over there. And then I
Correct.
have the Creulla channel where we have fun and we're just karaoke and people can come talk a little smack if they want. But I'm actually creating another one because I have an Empress Janet that I was trolling on. I've stopped that, but I'm
Right.
creating a show. It's going to be called The Janet Presley Show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring people on the show to do their interviews of who they are, and they can actually broadcast their channel from my channel and let everybody know who they are. But I'm going to have fun topics. It's going to be kind of like Wendy Williams, darling.
Oh
Shout out to
wow.
Wendy Williams.
You like Wendy style?
I definitely do. She worked hard to do what she had to do. She speaks the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear it, but a lot of us started from the bottom and we're going to the top. And so I'd like people to come over and express themselves. So I'm not really going to gossip. I'm really going to have the horse on the panel. If it comes out your mouth and it's who you are, then I just want people to learn to self brand themselves. Because the more that you self brand, the better that you're able to be a good entrepreneur.
Yeah, exactly. usually, well, that's fine in this way because I have like that's why I just said thank all the people that's in here, mostly like I just said so far, including yourself. Um, just getting your introduction is mostly friends and family here that I like to say that.
Well,
Building up
welcome.
so building up this and official is just like well some that you know because you've been here long enough you know how this is ran, but the official was
A lot
just
of
saying
people want to
when it
copy and a
comes to
lot of
the
people want to
yeah if
do
you see it
what others do. But if
yeah
you're in a position where your DNA is who you are,
yeah
then
that's
people
true
can't copy.
okay
I don't copy.
I feel
I
you
allow you to copy. I
I
want you
hear
to
you
be great. I would
mm-hmm
never say that I'm the only one that's allowed to have.
mm-hmm
But if you think you can do
but
it
I
like
feel
I
it though
can,
because it's certain people and certain things that but I get it.
they
One
can
thing that
have it all, darling.
you went you why did you say that you stopped trolling? What kind of what kind of trolling? Because I want to get to this. Like it's always a good conversation. What kind of trolling was you doing, or like why you said that you're gonna stop? Yeah, you're tickling now. So yeah, you must have been a little bad
Ah.
young lady, bad girl.
Well, darling, if you really must know, what had happened was
Hmm.
I tried to do the right thing and people weren't happy with me. And so they created the part that Cruella it takes over. And so
Okay.
I started to troll with the truth. I'm a soul that's a troll. Everyone's a troll on here. It's just, are you a good or bad troll? And I was injured. I was extorted for money. I was manipulated. My vagina has been all over the internet since a simple gentleman took that picture because he was butthurt. I don't want to be his friend anymore. You should have just
Wow.
took the coochie picture. And yet and still, I'm still surviving. I'm still out here, but I refuse to troll those people that were hurting me because
Oh,
when I
okay.
did, I triggered your show. I controlled the show with the chat room. I controlled the show by telling the truth. They hated me and I loved it. Everything was about me, which again, who doesn't want things about them? But I
Hmm.
learned that that was, it's like fighting. Like girls pull hair and they scratch. I actually hit you with the left and then the right and then the left again. And then I'll
Hmm.
uppercut you and then I'll grab you by your shoulders and slam you to the ground and then I'll kick you in your face.
Damn. You still
Well,
going?
yeah. And so I thought I was doing that with my trolling,
Hmm.
but I just learned that it's better to ignore them and walk away and feel great about who you are and just let things be what they are. If people are talking about me because they don't like me, if they can't come say it to my face, then it really doesn't matter.
Right. So this is a good question to ask while we're talking about that. So I was going to ask you, how do you think that you can change? I mean, it's kind of hard with the YouTube the way that it is, but how do you think that you can change like all of the negative energy that floats around these parts?
Well, that's a good question because the best way that you can get rid of negative energy, T history, is to create good energy. And I continue to create good energy by focusing on the good people around me, focusing on the things that I'm doing, making sure that my behavior is up to par so that I'm acting like who I really am instead of the person that they're trying to create with anger and frustration. And then I actually push back good energy. So I'm actually saying that I forgive those people that hurt me and I'm
Hmm.
staying away from their show. I've unsubscribed because it's my choice, but I'm not telling people not to go over there. I'm not telling people to troll them.
That's great.
And
That's
actually,
great.
someone came to me that I was trolling and he told me to stop trolling him. And I really did. That was the day I stopped. But then he came to my show today and we had a great interview. And he
Okay.
really was like out basically in the YouTube streets saying that he wouldn't troll me because someone asked him to. So I feel like I pushed that good energy out, T history, that, I set an example. And so,
Oh,
we're not perfect. But I'm telling people that I made a mistake, and I'm telling them that I'm doing better, and I'm actually my actions are louder than my words.
That's great. Does it feel great?
It feels amazing, darling.
Hmm, that's good.
Because
Let me
every
see.
day I get to wake up happy, T. I liked being with you guys the other day. I liked having
Hmm.
fun. I actually fell asleep on your stream last night, but I kept it open just so you could get the view.
Oh, thank you.
So shout out to T History. Like and
Thank you.
subscribe.
Thank you very much. That's really nice of you. I wish you could have stayed up, but hey, it is what it is. We be, that this guy friendly. He's, you know, what I'm saying he's a machine. He's like to stay up all night and all morning to like, like right now.
I like
Yeah, it's
friendly.
before I got just a couple more things. Is it like anything in particular that you wanted to that you have, that's not too juicy that you want to just particularly um hit on that you have, up your sleeve, or something that you wanted to do with the Creulla series, or what you plan on doing besides the like trying to help people, anything in particular?
I do thank you, T History, for allowing me to come today and tell my story. I really have said everything that, I wanted to say.
Hmm.
But I will say this. When you go to someone's panel, you should do unto them as you would want someone to do to you when you have that situation going on. So I always
Hmm.
shout out to the chat room for coming and listening because they didn't have to. I shout out
Hmm.
to the panel because that's me. And, I am Empress Janet as well as Cruella is a villain. I am Cruella. But also to the host because you took your time out to really, allow this energy to be created. So I just want to humbly thank you for allowing me to tell
Hmm.
people who I am.
No
And
problem.
moving forward, I just want everyone to know that streaming's fun, having good content is fun, drama's fun too, but hurting people is not fun. So be careful with your words. And thank
Hmm.
you, T History, for being a new friend.
Well, no problem. We got more. So where I usually be a lot. So usually here what I'll do, I usually have be loaded with more and more spicy, but you're just like one of those. Your soul and your character is just so like it was hard for me to try to piece things together. But I usually play this game with everybody. So
Okay.
basically, I just ask a question. It's just a either or. So are you ready to go? It's like I'm gonna ask you two questions. I mean two. I'm gonna name two things, and you just take the which one is yours.
Sure, let's do it.
So and we're gonna
Shots,
do
shots,
that.
shots.
Yeah. I wish shots was involved for you. Shot, 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 shot. All
Hit the
right.
blunt, hit the blunt, hit the blunt.
Um. So first, build or destroy.
Build,
Looks or substance.
substance,
Fast food or home meal.
home meal,
Uh, 80s R&B or 90s R&B?
80s R&B.
House or rock
House or rock? I'm
music?
asking. Oh,
House or rock?
rock,
Um, a movie or documentary?
documentary,
Science or math?
science,
Tall or short?
tall,
Talk or listen?
listen,
Lead or follow?
follow, and lead.
Come on, see,
All right. Well, because if a leader's doing good, I'll follow them.
I know nobody
Ha
like to.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's why I made a joke with that one because a good leader will follow another leader. So I'm a leader. I'll be quick to follow a leader. But actually, I'd like to lead. So I'll go with
and
lead. Sorry. I'm a girl. Next
if
question.
you was to go out, would you rather dance or roller skate?
Roller skate.
figured that. Yep. Have you ever skied before?
Yes.
Right.
I ripped
Okay.
my ACL, my MCL, and my
Mm,
meniscus in my knee.
mm.
So I used to
That's
be
a hell of a
300
fun.
pounds and I'm five
Get the
eight.
fuck out of here.
You want me to show you a picture?
No later. Yeah. Wow. That's
I will send it to your, message
yeah.
place, okay?
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I lost it in the last year because it happened 3 years ago. So in the last
Hmm.
2 years, I've lost all this weight and now I look the way I
Wow.
do now. So thank you. That's why
Yeah.
I'm always
That's
showing it
awesome.
off.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. That's a lot. Look at
I'm
this dude.
43, so I'm an old
Hmm.
lady and I feel amazing.
Million lady. But all right. That's awesome though. Okay. Cake, ice cream.
Oh, cake,
Uh, I'm coming with craziness. Fish or lasagna?
fish,
Adventurous or fearful?
adventurous,
You know that. Speed limit or speed demon?
speed demon.
Ah,
My
city
car
or
do
country?
120, bro. I
I
be
already know
yeah,
you.
shuttle floating. I be drifting. Ah, shout out to the boys that like playing with their toys.
Rock out with my cock out. I
I
understand.
love men can drive
City,
really good.
city or country?
A country,
Paper or plastic?
paper,
Love or lust?
love,
Pool or ocean?
ocean,
Dress or jeans?
dress,
Natural or weave?
natural,
Shoes or sneakers?
sandals,
Spiritual or religious?
spiritual. The
Me,
universe is worthy to be praised. Hallelujah.
me or us?
Us,
Pizza or tacos?
taco,
Video games or board games?
board games, more interaction,
Blackjack or spades?
spades.
You rather get your nails done or your hair done?
Actually, you can get them both done at the same place. I
At the same damn time.
know.
Yep. Amazing.
But my
Yep.
hair, because I can do
Home
my own nails.
homebody or party girl?
Homebody,
Cat or dog?
cat,
Wine or liquor?
wine,
Fight or shoot?
fight,
This is going to be tough, baby. This is going to be tough. Friendly or Josiah? I know the answer. You
Josiah.
sorry, friendly. You knew the answer to that one. All right, I got a few more before this beautifulness is over. What would be? We just asked about skiing and you like roller skate. Uh, what would be? What is a hobby of yours?
I like to put puzzles together and then glue them and put them in old frames from the thrift store and put them on my walls. I like to
Okay.
garden. I have a blueberry bush outside and I have flowers and I like to barbecue. I like
Oh,
blowing
that's
it up. I
nice.
like fire. So I have a fire pit that I built on the side of my house. And I like doing s'mores and sitting around and trying to smoke my blunt outside before the mosquitoes bite me.
Right. I was supposed to ask you a weed question, but I wasn't sure.
A
So what is
marijuana
it gonna
question?
be? Yeah, sativa or what's the other one? Official
Indica?
indica. Which one? Sativa or
Actually,
indica?
I do hybrid.
Okay. So what
That's both.
strand? Okay.
But
Yeah.
I usually do indica so that I'm not jumping on people's roofs trying to clean their gutters out just because I love
Hmm.
helping too much.
Blunts or papers?
Blunts. But
Oh,
actually, I like tops. So shout out to tops
shout
because
out to
I'm
Top.
joints. Yeah, I come from the joint era.
Hmm. All right. This is another. So how long you been on YouTube as a content creator, and what is your direction?
Awesome question. It's two of them, but I actually started in January. My birthday is a day after Martin Luther King's. And I
Sweet.
was on a show called the Mava Kava Show. He's from Canada. And he actually asked me to do a segment in his show. And so I would go on from 12 to 2, and then, Mama Kaga would go on from 2:30 to like 5. And then he taught me like how to hold down his stream. We were talking to people from India and Greece, and I could talk to like all these people. So he just like kept asking me to come to his stream. And then he used me. I didn't know anything about the YouTube watch hours and the views. I didn't know you could get monetized at that time. So I basically like made his show go viral, and then everyone was telling me what I did, and then people were starting to talk about me, and I'm a loving, caring person, so I'm like, well, what happened? I don't understand. And then things were said about me that weren't true, and I was like, getting very, angry as a woman, and no one was standing up for me. So I kind of got put on the cross over there. And then that's when I went to the JB Gunner show, and they actually sang happy birthday to me over there too around that time, but I was just in the chat room. So I actually went to the JB Gunner show, and I was up there telling him what had happened. And so they loved bomb me to be over there. Then I realized like this was not the place for me. So I went to another sector where he tried to white knight for me, which is like he's trying to sleep with me. I didn't know that. So I just like went to another sector, and then crazy Mr. Unknown came about, and he wanted to be my hero. And like this whole time, I just wanted to create platforms that I could like share topics, help people if they needed water or food. Actually, I actually promote small businesses in the real world. So my company is www.fellowshipsonline.com. And if reach out to me, I basically do free promoting. But if you like me to wear t-shirts or do any of that sort, that's when, money, business, or barter and trade comes in for me. But I do
Mm.
very well with that. I've been doing that since 2017. And so I just help you small businesses stay, up and running. Because somebody might have a mom and pop store that's not doing pretty well. But if they came to me, I would promote their mom and pop small business so that everyone else that I could speak to would know that they exist. And I think that's a way to save like the African Americans from losing their businesses that they've had for years, and
Mm-hmm.
other people as well.
Right.
So I want to use my shows to create more understanding for people, more ways to have outlets to speak about things that we might be going through, and then allowing people to be themselves so that even through these hard times, we all stick together. I'm from
Mm-hmm.
an era that, when times got hard, we buckled down and we just let the petty stuff go, because survival and how we survive right now is so important. I work for a company, and well, I'm an I-9 to this company that basically told me that YouTube's going to be like how MTV was in the 90s. And
Mm.
so we're all going to get a chance to be famous on the YouTube.
Is
And
that
so
right?
yes, sir. And I never really got a chance to tell people that without them like, oh, she thinks she's better, or she thinks she got inside. But if I'm giving you an inside secret, for some reason, the people that believe me or know it's true, they're the ones that's tried to stop me from telling other people. But yes, we all have a chance to actually get rural monetizations on this YouTube and make money when they close the door in January. Once they close the door, they're getting rid of those ghetto contents and people that aren't really doing anything. That's why it's good to know that you can have a show with gaming, you can have a movie night, you can have a panel action where people are talking about different topics. You can have a discussion like a beef time where say two people have an issue and you're the moderator of that issue, and
Hmm.
those become
That is
content that's
I.
really, really important when you're helping people get over it. Like there's a goal. You didn't just do that because you wanted 20 people in your chat room being nosy. You
Right.
actually did that content because you were trying to assist them as a leader. Because again, rabbis, prophets, those people, they really exist. And you don't need a degree to be enlightened, bro. My mama raised me well. Like she didn't play those games. You
Mm.
respect a person of for being a person, not because of the color of their skin. But if that person doesn't respect you, you have to draw the line.
Right.
And again, you can train others to know the difference
Hmm.
and still have fun. Like, are you trying to get your Cash App hit because you want to go get drunk? Just say that.
Right.
I'd rather hit your Cash App because this is hard
So
times right
do that
now.
shit then. Do that shit, fool.
Well, I
I
do
think we hate
apologize because somebody
shot,
did mess
shot,
with my
shot,
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 shot, shot, shot, shot. Hit
shot.
that motherfucker. Get drunk. Liquor store
Yeah,
closed
everybody in the
though.
chat room
Big.
can hit it. There we go.
Hit
Show
that
him
mother. You see
some
how big
love.
it is? Double. Nah, this is
Double
fucking
the
stupid.
price right there.
All right.
But I mean, go ahead.
So the next one would be oh yeah, provide this one is gonna have you up here to 3 o'clock. Now, what does loyalty mean to you?
Saying what you would say to someone if that person wasn't even there. So if I say that I'm going to do something, even if that person's not there, I'm going to do it for them. I'm always going to make sure that the words coming out of my mouth are truthful for them while I'm in their face or I'm not in their face.
Okay.
And
Uh
having that understanding will allow me to be truthful, honest, and always knowing my integrity.
Similar question. How do you feel about taking responsibilities?
You should always take responsibility for your actions, even if they're right, even if they're wrong.
Um, what is your probably what you already answered, but what is your dream career or job?
That's a good question, but I definitely want to be the best at whatever I decide. My children just went off to college. I have a whole new world that's opened up to me. I'm single again. I have to learn how to be alone again
Hmm.
because the children
Uh
are
oh.
gone. So
Tommy
I
D is
definitely
licking his
want
chops.
I definitely want to be a good content creator. And if I ever get a chance to go to Hollywood, I would take it. And I would take everyone with me that wants to go. I definitely want to make a movie. I don't want to say any more about it, but I definitely want all the YouTubers to be involved when we make this movie. And the movie will actually be cartoon based. So I just need people's permission to use their voices and the likeness of them. But if they want to be a part of it, then we can start making this movie and then we're going to sell it and everyone's going to get a part of it.
Shots, 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 shots,
Shot,
shots,
shot, shot,
shots,
shot,
shots.
shot,
Okay.
shot.
Mm-hmm. Uh, the place that you would want to be with me, even if it's only for 24 hours. No, so where would you want to be, even if it was only for 24 hours?
Thank you for asking T History. I hope you're ready to take me anytime. But it's Ocean City, Maryland, on the beach right now with my bikini.
Ooh, wee. Rain, where's that at? Rain's like, that's just down the street. Ain't talking about nothing. Okay. That's what's up. What is it about that beach?
I love the people there and I love the cleanliness of it. And just, I've been there so many times. I don't travel a lot to do pleasurable things. That's always work. I always have to go to Cleveland, Ohio to do work or West Virginia to do work. So Maryland's not far from us and I get to do pleasure there. And I always go to the beach and the boardwalk. So even in the pan, they handed out masks, they handed out hand sanitizer. And so like they didn't even skip a beat last year. So it's just a relaxing place. When I get a boyfriend,
Society's
I'm gonna
crazy.
take him.
All right, now for the grand finale. If you was the first female president, what would be the first thing that you would do?
I would provide everyone a home. I would provide everyone a substance of a certain survival, meaning like in each community, people would be able to get jobs. They would be able to work, have daycares to make sure that everyone had a moving community. I would change laws, the rules. I would make it we the people, and everyone would have off on Mondays and still get paid. Shout out to Empress Janet.
That's what's up. Okay, so with that said, this is Empress Janet, and like I said, basically you can let everybody know where they can find you at, and I mean, basically, I can't take the words out your mouth. You can say anything, let them know where you at, all the way up to your IG, and if it's any other thing that you want to say, and that'll be a wrap.
Well, thank you. You guys can reach me on Instagram. It is actually just the letters of my name. So it's J as in Janet, and then Presley, B as in boy, 777. You can find me on here with Fellowships Online Funhouse, or Creulla is a villain. I am Creulla. I actually think I changed it. I think it says Creulla is Janet. So it's Creulla is hashtag Empress Janet. But yes, I save souls by giving love. That's all I want to do. We
And
all
your
can love
regular
each
you,
other.
and your regular YouTube channel is what it says right there, and of course, Josiah dropped both of the key ones in there. And like I said, is anything else that you want to say?
Thank you, T, for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time to get to know me. And thanks, everyone in the chat room, for listening to my story. I appreciate you guys. And again, I want you to know that if you walk in hope, walk in love, walk in forgiveness, there's nothing that you can't do. So be great.
All right. Got to get it right, baby. I appreciate you and thank you for your time as well. And everybody have a wonderful night. Like I said, so I don't know what's going on. More than likely, I'm gonna chill. I've been doing this all day long, and I appreciate everybody that came and showed support for both of us. And we had a good time. We had some fun, some laugh. And I guess if I heard it was supposed to be a baby was supposed to do something, I don't know what's going on, but more than likely, I guess Friendly is going to pull up and get his show rolling if nobody else is going to do anything. For everybody else, like I said, enjoy the rest of your evening. If not, I'm pretty sure that, like I said, the Friendly is going to do something. However, like I said, y'all have a wonderful night. At worst, I'll probably be heard again. I don't think I will be going live, but like I said, it was a wonderful time. I thank y'all for coming out, and y'all have a wonderful night. We shall see each other later. And like I said, put a smile on a stranger's face tomorrow and tonight. Again, thank y'all for coming out.
T
It was a,
history, may I say something before we go?
yes, you may.
Thank you, love. To everyone in
And
the
you,
chat room that had questions, if you'd like to talk to me at Fellowships Online Funhouse, I'm going live Monday. It'll be 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I can answer any questions that I didn't answer tonight. I do
all right.
apologize.
There's nothing to apologize for. It was a great time, y'all. Take it easy. We out.
Bye.
Peace. Got to get it right, baby. Extra.